the easy way to avoid the most common trap for emotionally invested personal trainers. Hey, Sarah Pitts here with a new video for every emotionally invested personal trainer who wants to avoid falling into the most common traps and experience true freedom as a PT, doing what you love without having to feel like you care more about your clients' results than they do. So here's what I mean. The first thing is that it is possible to care too much. Because when you invest your efforts in someone and you care about what happens to them, you invest a little bit or even a lot of your own emotional energy. And when emotional energy is reciprocated, it gets replenished and it feels like you have more to give. But if it isn't reciprocated, you feel a bit depleted and you feel like you have less to give. So if you're giving your emotional energy to clients and they aren't fulfilling it with their efforts, their attention, their results, you have less to give to your own life and your own family. And over time, this can make you feel drained, frustrated, and even resentful. So the second thing is that your mental health is at stake. So when we care about our clients' results more than they do, we can interpret their lack of motivation, attention, or effort as our own failure, which it isn't. And for many of us, our career is important and is a way for us to feel validated and successful in the world. And if we feel like we're failing in this, it can negatively impact our mental health. And the longer we struggle through it, the worse it gets. So the third thing is right message, wrong voice. So how many times have you tried telling a friend something? You might even have said it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it feels like they're just falling on deaf ears. Then somebody else says exactly the same thing you did, and all of a sudden they're listening. Now, the same thing happened with personal training. Sometimes we are simply the wrong voice with the message for that person. And that's cool. It doesn't mean that we're wrong, or we don't know enough, or that nobody's listening, or nobody will listen. It's just that that particular client isn't hearing us. It's not a slight on us or our personalities. They just aren't a great fit for us. And it's important that we see this for what it is and find a new client rather than taking it personally and dwelling on it. So here's what I'd like you to take away from this video. Firstly, it is okay for you to not be able to help everyone. And secondly, when there is a mismatch between you and your clients, it's far too easy for your mental and emotional health to suffer. But there are a few fundamental reasons why this happens. So if you're an emotionally invested personal trainer who really wants to know how to make this work for you, then I'd like to invite you to my upcoming training and get yourself on the VIP list so you can discover what these reasons are and what you can do instead. You can go to kickasspt.com. That's all one word, kickasspt.com. And it just makes it easy for you to avoid the most common traps for emotionally invested personal trainers without having to feel like you care more about your clients' results than they do. So I'm Sarah from Most Motion. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next.